Welcome to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James.
Hey, beautiful people, and welcome back to another episode of the Mind Over Money podcast. If you are new to us, welcome to our family. If you are not new, welcome back. And you know the drill. The only way this podcast gets traction is if you show it some love. So what's the best way to do that? To make sure you subscribe. Go ahead and do it right now. Pause this if you need to. Hit subscribe on your favorite platform. Why? Because it helps send a signal to the algorithms on the various platforms to show it to more people so more people can join in. And if obviously you enjoyed this episode or any of our episode, make sure you please leave us a review and share it with somebody that you love. So what do I actually want to talk to you about today? Now, this might come across a little bit controversial. However, you know me, I like to say it how it is. And many of us are walking around tolerating nonsense. Now, look, there's lots of nonsense floating around in the world right now. There are lots of crazy ideas and crazy theories that people are throwing around and are forcing down our throats and making us feel like we are bad for not wanting to listen to them. Look, I respect everyone. You're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to what it is that you want to say. I don't necessarily have to listen to it. Now, you might think that's arrogant, but let me explain something to you. The reason I don't tolerate nonsense is because I'm better than that. All right? I have higher standards for myself. Now, doesn't make me right and the other person wrong. But if you're going to come along and just absolutely splurt nonsense to me and expect or demand that I listen or respond to you, then I think you're being incredibly selfish. Look, not everybody wants to listen to you and not everybody wants to respond to what it is that you have to say. So why force them to do it? If you're going to go around the freedom of speech thing, you must also go around the freedom of not having to speak. Because everyone talks about freedom of speech. What about the freedom of not having to say anything? Now, I don't want to respond to your nonsense because in my model of the world, it's absolute garbage. Now, I'm not going to go into all of it on this episode, but you know what I'm talking about. There are certain things nowadays they are saying to us that you can't say this and you can't do that. And it's just getting ridiculous. It's going too far, in my opinion. All right. Now, even down to the word politically correct, people don't even know where that freaking stems from. Do you know the word politically correct, the term, should I say, stems from actual Russia? It stems from the old days where they used to say, look, don't say anything out of turn because it will be against the government or against the regime or against whatever it is. And it was politically incorrect to say certain things against the government. Now they've turned it into politically incorrect or whatever it is if you, I don't know, express your opinion about someone's weight or you express your opinion about the way someone looks or whatever it is or their preferences or whatever it is. Look, this is, for me, it's all about you just understanding that if you've got standards for yourself, then maintain them. Because it's getting tougher out there, my friends. It's getting harder out there right now to not be exposed to nonsense. You've only got to flick on the news. You've only got to go onto social media and you see all of the nonsense that's going on out there. Now, obviously, it's not all bad. There's some great stuff going on in the world too, which brings me to my next point about this. If you are going to shut off the nonsense, it's going to benefit you. Why? Because you'll only be looking and interested in good stuff. Because that's how I operate. Look, I don't care what you say. If it's nonsense in my model of the world, I don't even feel that I have to argue with you. It's fine. If that's what is your reality, knock yourself out. I'm happy for you. Carry on. Just crack on. But I don't need to listen to it. And I don't need to take it on board, and I don't need to make it part of my world. Why? Because in my world, I want to focus on things that add value to my life. I want to focus on things that enhance my family, enhance my quality of life, in fact, enhance my health, my well-being, my finances, my business. I want to listen to stuff like that. I don't want to listen to absolute garbage. So that's me. That's my choice. But that only happens if you start boldly accepting that you are not going to tolerate nonsense anymore. Why? Because you're better than that and you've got better standards for yourself. Don't feel obliged to listen to everyone. Don't feel obliged to have to be that person who gives people a platform so that they feel respected. Look, you don't have to entertain someone to give them respect. If someone wants to come and talk to me about some garbage idea that they've got, when I say garbage, in my model of the world, obviously, then I don't need to show them respect by listening to them. I can show them respect by telling them, I respect you for having your own opinion. I'm just choosing not to listen to it right now. It doesn't mean I don't respect you because I haven't given you a platform to vocalize it. Go and find someone else who wants to listen to you. I'm not saying you're a bad human. Go and find someone else to talk to. I do not want to listen to your nonsense. I'm just being honest, all right? So have some respect for yourself and don't feel that you have to cave in to what's going on in the world right now. I don't tolerate nonsense because I've got better standards for myself and I'm better than that. And I'd love you, if you're listening to this right now, to start looking at your life and going, right, what nonsense am I tolerating? Whose behaviors am I tolerating? What am I listening to that I actually don't want to listen to anymore? And that could be someone in your life being negative to you or nonsense that's going on in the news that you could just switch it off and say, look, I don't want to listen to this crap anymore. Whatever it is, start editing all of the things in your life right now that are not enhancing it and stop tolerating nonsense. Why? Because it's affecting your quality of your life and you deserve better than that. All right. So short but sweet episode today, but I wanted to just get that off my chest. All right. So I hope this served you in some way or form. If it did, make sure you leave us a review. Make sure you share this episode with someone that you love. And don't forget, please, 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 the podcast itself only gains traction when beautiful people like yourself show it some love. So make sure you subscribe to the podcast so that you get notified when we drop new episodes, but also it sends a message to the algorithm to let people know that this is a great podcast to tune into, and hopefully more people can join our Mind Over Money family. So I appreciate every single one of you for tuning in. As always, I wish you all the wealth, health, success, and happiness that you truly, truly deserve. Until the next episode, I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
You've been listening to the Mind Over Money podcast with Jessen James. Don't forget to subscribe and follow on all the channels, links in the show notes. Please also leave a review and visit www.jessenjames.com to find more resources on how to create the life you deserve.